Mario Odyssey is one of the most popular speedrunning games of all time. The game has the perfect blend of being easy for new players to pick up, but very difficult to master. I know personally it's the game that got me into speedrunning. But the problem is that most resources online are designed for experienced speedrunners and require some very difficult tricks that the average player might not be able to pull off. So today I want to share with you my beginner-friendly route that even a first-time runner would be able to complete. Now, I am not, and probably never will be, a top runner in this game. This route will never get you in the top percentage of Odyssey speedrunners, but if you're someone who just wants to give speedrunning a try, then this is perfect for you. This video will be broken into sections, so feel free to follow along and refer back when you need help. I'll be sharing the moons that I get along the way, as well as some backup moons that are easy to get if you miss one of the main ones. Before we begin, there are a few things that you'll need to do to prepare for the run. First off, you'll need to download a live split program, which I have linked below in the description. You can then either download a pre-made template with all the splits or create your own. I think it's important to note that the individual splits do not matter towards verifying your run, so don't stress this too much. This is more for you to see if you're on pace with yourself during a run and track your own improvement. Be sure to program hotkeys that you won't accidentally press during your run, especially if you plan on streaming while running. I use F12 to start and split the timer and F10 to reset. More advanced tutorials on setting up live splits can be found online, and I have linked a great one from Smallant in the description below. I also recommend familiarizing yourself with the movement options within Mario Odyssey before starting out. I will not go into how to perform them all here, but I'll link another great video from Smallant that goes over everything in depth. After that, it's time to set up the game. Make sure you have at least one open save file before you do so. You will notice that more experienced runners play the game in traditional Chinese, which is the third language up from the bottom. This saves time since the text needs to load less characters for every cutscene. But for a beginner, it's fine to play in your native language. Don't stress this time save until you've become more consistent enough where it will actually matter to you. For controllers, I tend to use detached Joy-Cons, because to me they provide the best motion control options. You're going to be shaking the controller a lot to roll through these stages, and with the Joy-Cons you only need to shake the right one instead of both. Feel free to play with the control method that best suits you though. From here, we are ready to jump in. The timer starts at the same time that you start the game, so get to this screen here and make sure to trigger them simultaneously. Make sure to skip the opening cutscene as soon as you can, and from there move the camera to take control of Mario. You're going to want to start rolling as soon as you can, and you don't need to actually chase Cappy since he will move when you hit certain areas, so don't worry about climbing the hills. Make your way directly to the stairs, and you can get up with a well-timed triple jump to end up in the Cappy load zone. From here you'll head to the bridge, and a small easy time save to perform is to dive right before the bridge spawns so that you can roll immediately onto it. Head to the frog room, which is pretty straightforward to get through, and you will climb the hat tower. More experienced runners will go to the left after leaving the door, but the right is significantly easier, so head that way. Roll up the hill and head into the trigger zone for the first topper boss fight. The quickest way to take him down is to throw Cappy as fast as possible to get rid of the first set of hats, jump on him, then jump on him again before he can escape and spin around the arena. The timing of this can be tough, so don't worry if you miss it. Just find the correct hat and hit it with Cappy a few times to stop the spinning. Hit him again and finish the fight, leaving the area. Cascade Kingdom is also pretty straightforward. Head straight to capture the Chomp and grab the first moon. From here go to the Odyssey, and make sure you do not throw your current moon onto it. Instead, do a triple jump into a wall jump to get behind the Odyssey and head to the first trick of the run, Dino Skip. Dino Skip can be a little finicky for new runners, but it is a necessity to get better at the game. The most consistent way I have found to do it is to walk straight off the ledge, then once you land, run one step towards the launch pad, then walk one step, then run again off the trampoline. Make sure to uncapture Mario as close to the boss trigger zone as possible, then dive towards the ledge. The trigger zone for the fight is very forgiving, so even if you hit the ledge, you should still be all set. If not, capture the dino and try again. Madame Brood is pretty straightforward as well. Make sure to shake the controller to move the Chomp quickly away from her to hit her as fast as you can. Once you are far enough away, Mario will automatically uncapture the Chomp and hit her, so don't worry about timing your uncaptures. From here, don't throw your moons onto the Odyssey yet. Instead, head to the left and jump up the ledge, then long jump over to the free moon across the platform. This is the only moon you need to grab to move on, so grab it and head back to the Odyssey to leave the kingdom. Once on the map screen, you will need to press A through 2 text screens before you can select the next kingdom, and this is the only time you will have to manually move the map selection to move on. So get the rhythm of it down and leave Cascade to head to Sand Kingdom. On this cutscene, if you mash plus and B quickly enough, you can skip the loading of the action guide, so I recommend doing that to save some more time. Sand Kingdom is where the run really starts to open up. You will need 16 moons to leave, and there are tons of options available to you, so as you get better, there is a meaningful opportunity for time save. I'll go over the route I take, and then I'll show some easy backup moons you can grab if you're more comfortable. Roll straight into Toast Arena Town and head to the left of the fountain. Jump up behind the cactus to the ledge, and if you make it there quickly enough, you should be able to grab the bird with a well-timed ground pound jump. If you miss the bird here, don't worry, there will be another chance to grab it shortly. Grab the moon overlooking the desert town, then head down the green pipe to get the rumble from the sandy floor moon, which can be found right here. From there, head down to the employees-only shop moon. Once you head out, start ground pound rolling quickly, and this is a more consistent way to grab the bird if you missed it the first time. Roll to the small ledge here, then ground pound jump and throw Cappy into the bird, triggering the moon. With another ground pound jump into a Cappy dive, you can grab the moon easily. From here, head up the large hill and grab the ground pound moon on top of a dune. Then roll towards the stone archway. You can get this moon early by doing a well-placed jump onto this iceberg here, then pound jump and Cappy bounce to the top of the archway to grab the moon. Head over towards the ruins and triple jump Cappy bounce over the wall to grab the alcove in the ruins moon. Head up around the corner, and with a ground pound jump into a wall jump, you can easily skip this 2D section to get to the bullet bill area. Grab the moon in the crate, then jump back and capture the bullet bill to head to the lone pillar moon. Make sure to hold Y and shake the controller to fly quickly over there. Then the easiest way to get the moon consistently is to uncapture the bullet bill right before it hits the wall, and then dive into the moon. From there, roll off the platform and head to the Sphinx. You can mash A through his dialogue since the answer is the first option. Go in and grab coins quickly, but don't worry about getting every single coin since you most likely won't need all of them. Get the treasure moon and from there head to the Jaxi ruins to perform Jaxi Skip. This trick requires some fairly precise jumps, so I will show an alternative if you don't feel comfortable doing it consistently. To do this trick, jump over to the right Jaxi statue and land on its head. From here, ground pound jump off its head and throw Cappy as close to the ledge as possible to do a Cappy bounce. Then throw Cappy towards the wall to center Mario and land on the small ledge here. Once there, do another ground pound jump and throw Cappy away from the wall, bounce off him, then throw again and dive onto the top of the ruins. Grab both the coin chest and the moon while you're up here. Jump down off the tower towards the ruins, and from there you can jump up to the leaning pillar moon. Long jump off of that towards the main ruins. Then turn around and capture the bullet bill and fly it into the block that holds the inside a block as a hard place moon. Roll over to the Wander Cactus moon to grab that. Then head to the Oasis for the last two moons. Where the birds gather, and taking notes, jump on the palm. This will give you enough to warp back to the Odyssey and leave the kingdom. Some easy backup moons you can get in Sand Kingdom are the Shop Moon, which is pretty much the answer for every kingdom. When in doubt, just buy a moon from the shop. The Slots Moon in the main town. The Seed Moon in the town, which can be manually manipulated by pushing your clock an hour ahead while in the sub area. More experienced runners do a daylight saving skip that automatically does this, but don't worry about that just yet. You can also grab the moon hidden in the alcove around the corner from the Sphinx, which is what I would recommend if Jaxi Skip is giving you issues. When leaving the kingdom, mash A through all the dialogue here to head to Lake Kingdom. You could do Wooded first, but Lake is faster since you do not have to move the map to switch it. Lake Kingdom is one of the fastest main kingdoms in this run. Once you spawn in, head to the right of the Odyssey and grab the ground pound moon on the lake shore. You can then perform an easy triple jump up to the ledge to the left to skip the entire underwater section. If you miss the triple jump, a ground pound jump into a wall jump works just as well. Jump off the flower and go right to the zipper to grab the end of the hidden passage moon. From here, ground pound off the side into the water and propel yourself towards the Cheep Cheep, which you will capture to grab the Cheep Cheep crossing moon in the wall. Swim across to grab the Dory back Rider moon. Then swim on top of the broken pillar and spin with the fish to spawn the moon. After grabbing that moon, you will swim up to perform a fairly precise jump to get into the boss fight. Swim up at an angle towards the ledge, then keep your momentum and jump out of the water. When the Cheep Cheep is high enough, uncapture Mario, then wall jump off the ledge and Cappy dive to get on top. If you miss this jump or don't feel comfortable, you can go to the left near the 2D area, substituting the broken pillar moon for the box moon and taking the long way around. But doing this jump is way faster and can be mastered with just a little practice. From here you will take on the boss fight for the last 3 moons you need. A safe strategy is to throw Cappy as soon as he throws his hat, so you can bounce closely to him, then try to jump on his head while he bounces around. There really aren't any backup moons for Lake, since you should be able to get them all fairly quickly, so now we're on to Wooded Kingdom. Much like Sand Kingdom, you'll need a total of 16 moons to leave Wooded. However, Wooded is definitely more straightforward due to some easy moons on the way and a few story moons that help you progress. To start, go towards the tree to the right of the Odyssey and grab the moon from the rabbit. From there, head to the left behind the giant in-ground rock and grab the round rock in the bushes. You can hold it and run into the rock to the right and it will immediately break, allowing you to collect the moon that is inside. Next, you're going to want to roll to the shop robot and buy the moon from there. Then head back left and triple jump into a Cappy bounce so you can jump on top of the waterfall. Another easy method is to ground pound on the slightly elevated hill and Cappy bounce from there. Head around the corner and with a triple jump Cappy bounce you can get to the upper section. From there, ground pound jump and Cappy throw straight out, bounce off, and turn around to throw Cappy towards the ledge to dive up and collect the nut moon tucked away inside the tunnel. Head back down and open the door that will take you to the main entrance to the rest of the kingdom. If you take a left out this door, you can capture the up route and walk quickly to make your way to the ledge with a shake of the controller. Grab the moon inside the nut and long jump over to the red maze, where you can take the other up route and collect the nut inside of there. Head back down the way you came up and long jump across to the halfway point of Iron Road. From here I like to kill the giant piranha first to make the moon spawn, then head around the corner to grab the other nut moon, come back and collect the story moon, unlocking the Flower Road. Make your way across with the P-switch and head to the right path to grab the nut on the crumbling tower moon. Don't bother using the Flower Road to get back. It is very easy to do with a long jump. And from there you're going to long jump across to the tower's entrance. Go to the left and with a triple jump you can make your way up the side to collect another up route. Use the flower path to get the moon nut planted in the tower, and with a carefully timed stretch and shake you can skip waiting for the Flower Road to come back and quickly make your way to the top. It is crucial that you keep the up route here, as you will need to grab the stretching your legs moon before leaving the interior of the tower. Uncapture in midair and dive towards the door to leave. Once exiting, make sure you grab the checkpoint here, then head up the stairs and jump off the tower towards the water to enter the flooded pipe section. Be incredibly careful not to miss, since this will take you into deep woods, which effectively kills your run. Grab both moons in the flooded pipe section, and warp back up to the checkpoint you just grabbed to fight the Spewer boss fight. This fight is very easy once you get the timing down. Start out by throwing Cappy right away and jump onto Spewar's head. Then stand close to him and stop his spinning as soon as it starts. From there you can backflip to knock his hat off and bonk him in the same jump. Then just repeat again until he goes down, getting you the last 3 moons you'll need to exit. A few moons that you can grab if you need to would be the Wait Station moon, and the Nut Round the Corner moon after the Spewer fight if you don't want to do flooded pipes. Although I would recommend just following the path since it'll save you a lot of time not needing to backtrack. From here you will head to the Cloud Kingdom to take on the first Bowser fight of the game. My best advice on this is to make sure you recapture his hat far enough away where he won't grab it, but close enough where you can stop his jumping cycle before it starts. I would recommend rolling into him as soon as you capture the hat, since it will also punch him before he leaves the ground. Do this 3 times and it's time for Lost Kingdom. Your main goal in Lost Kingdom is simple. Do not trigger Klepto. Thankfully, there are two options to get around him without being seen that are fairly easy to do. The quicker and slightly more difficult one is to climb up this green tree right here. Line up on this leaf and carefully do a triple jump into a Cappy bounce to reach the ledge with the purple coins. This jump can be a little tricky for newer runners, so if you can't do it, use the red tree to the right to jump over to the cage and then onto the ledge over here. Just be careful. If you're too far to the right on the cage, you can trigger Klepto accidentally, so just keep to the left and you should be okay. From there you will collect the ground pound moon, then make your way up to grab the butterfly on the ledge. If it flies away before you grab it, just stand where it spawns and enter first person mode, which will respawn it on top of you and instantly grab you the moon. From here, long jump over to the propeller pillar moon, then jump over to the other propeller for the ground pound propeller secret moon. Next, head over to Klepto and spook him so he flies off his perch. Once you do this, as long as you don't die, he will not go after Cappy, and you should be safe. Long jump Cappy bounce over to the swamp tree moon and grab that, then long jump back and ground pound the pillar that opens the stone cage moon. Head up the ledge and have Cappy get captured by the trap beetle, which you will use twice to smash the rock that has a moon inside. While he is shooting the second time, you can head off the side and grab the moon below the cliff's edge while the rock moon spawns. Head to the collapsible stairs and then ground pound the top to switch their direction, revealing the moon inside the rising stone pillar. Then head across and use the trap beetle to break the caged moon by having Mario duck here. Collect that moon and you are good to go. If for some reason you need a backup moon, you can always grab the moon under the bridge, but keep in mind if you didn't kill Klepto, you could risk accidentally spawning him, so be careful. Head back to the Odyssey and it's time to head to Metro Kingdom. Metro Kingdom is broken up into two main parts, Day Metro and Night Metro. Most of the moons you collect will be in the daytime section. However, there are a few that you will want to make sure to grab while you're here. Head up to the wire over by the right and zip down to the main part of the city. From here, you are going to want to head straight across to the storefront. If you use this awning, you can do a well-timed jump into a Cappy bounce, into a wall jump, into a Cappy dive to make your way to the top of this building. From there, you can jump across and wall jump up these two pillars to grab the Girder Sandwich Moon, before jumping across to the construction access area. If this jump is too tricky for you, then head left instead when you reach the main area and take the long way around, grabbing the moon inside the girder as you go. I would recommend practicing the wall jump though, as it saves a considerable amount of time even if you don't get it on the first try. Climb up the construction area and head past the heliport towards the City Hall interior. Don't worry about grabbing the swinging girder moon now, as you will get it later on. Once inside City Hall, make your way up to the top, then grab the City Hall Lost and Found moon. Head over to the platform to the right and long jump diagonally across to land on the side platform. It is possible to jump straight across to exit, but this jump can be tricky, and if you miss it, you're going to waste a lot of time, so it's better to play it safe. Once you exit, be sure to grab the rooftop checkpoint, then head around the corner to fight the Mecha Wiggler. To this day, this boss gives me trouble, and the best advice I can give you is to use motion controls to help you aim your shots carefully and not waste any. Ideally, you're going to want to beat him on 2 cycles, but if it takes you 3, it should not be a problem for a new runner. Either way, take him down and collect the Grand Moon to end the gloomy nighttime section and bring you to Day Metro. Day Metro presents you with a lot of options for moons. So to start, grab the moon inside the girder near the Odyssey. Now take the wire to the main part of the city, where you can grab the remotely captured car moon. There is a way to use the scooter to clip into the moon's hitbox, but it's not as easy as it looks, so I recommend the intended way of capturing the car guy to control it until you master that. Next, head into the shop and buy the moon inside. Once out, jump across the street up the awning to the top of the building and grab the ground pound moon under the garbage pile. Next, you're going to want to capture the fling pole and use it to boost to the bench right here. Sit for a second and grab the bench friends moon. Next, head right to City Hall and talk to Pauline, which triggers the musician story moons. Using your best Dora the Explorer skills, find the drummer who is so carefully hidden. From here, leave City Hall and head over to the wire to the right. At the park, get the ground pound moon hidden in the scrap, then grab the story moon from the bassist. Once in City Hall, warp immediately to the rooftop and perform a long jump into a cappy bounce to get the dumpster moon. The secret to this one is to wait until you are fairly close to the dumpster to do the cappy bounce, otherwise you won't make it all the way. From there, jump down and grab the swaying in the breeze moon on the girder. It is important to time this out to land directly on the girder, but if you don't, just go around the corner and take the wire back up. Now you can take the wire to the top of City Hall and climb to the top to grab the Dizzying Heights moon. Roll off the top to the rooftop pool and grab the moon that is there. Then jump down to the cafe and grab the ground pound moon. Finally, you're going to jump down to the right and grab both moons that are in the sub area here. The best way to make it through the crowd is to hug the right side and roll all the way there. If you need any backup moons, this kingdom is filled with them. You can grab the guitarist at the park, the slots moon, Captain Toad, or the trumpeter on the roof. Really, there are a ton of moons in this kingdom, but I recommend keeping it as simple as possible. Once you have them all, it's time to head over to the Snow Kingdom. Snow Kingdom is a relatively shorter kingdom, and thankfully most of the moons are pretty close to each other as well. To start, you're going to want to head down the hill and jump between these two icicles to head towards Captain Toad. Try not to hit him with Cappy, since he will be stunned for a second and not able to talk to you. From there, you're going to head back across to the main entrance to Shiveria Town, which is where the rest of the moons will be. Head to the back wall and grab the wall jump moon at the entrance. Next, head into the shop and buy the moon from the clerk, which will be the last shop moon of the run, so you're no longer going to have to worry about coins. Now you're going to want to perform an intermediate jump off the umbrella here to get to the treasure chest moon above. The best way to do this is to jump straight up off the umbrella, then at the peak throw Cappy and dive into him. Then wall jump off the ledge and Cappy dive onto the balcony. Once there, grab the treasure chest moon, and then head across and around the corner. In the back left of this area in the snow is another ground pound moon, so grab that and head down into the bottom left room, Wind Chill Cavern. In here there are two moons. The first one is atop the blustery arch, which can be easily reached with a ground pound jump into a wall jump into a Cappy dive on top. Then grab the story moon at the end of the path. From here, you're going to next head into the bottom right room in Shiveria Town, Icicle Cavern. Grab all 4 Goombas, don't kill them. Then use them to open the door to grab the ice-dodging Goomba Stack moon. It is slightly faster to jump above the switch and then uncapture the Goombas onto it, so you can keep the momentum out of the cutscene. Next, grab the story moon at the end of the area, and head back to the main part of the town. For the final moon, you will head into the back left room and use the wind to climb up the snowy mountain. But instead of fighting the boss here, head to the side entrance and grab the moon around the corner. And with that, you will have enough to leave Snow Kingdom once and for all. If for some reason you need an extra moon or two, you can always use the back right room to grab the shards and the moon that is above. But either way, this will give you enough to head to Seaside Kingdom. For Seaside Kingdom, I'm going to spell out 2 starting options, one of which I don't recommend until you get more comfortable with the game, as it can be a very tricky jump for beginners. At the start of the kingdom, head to the back left of the Odyssey towards this bush, and using a Cappy jump into a wall bounce, you can get up this ledge. From here, by doing a very precise triple jump, into a Cappy bounce at the apex of your jump, into a wall kick, into a Cappy dive, you can just make it up to the moon on the cliff overlooking the beach. From there, jump down along the wall and head into the green pipe. If you are a newer runner, I recommend skipping the cliff moon and starting out with the green pipe. I'll give you a moon on the way that you can replace it with. In the green pipe room, head to the bottom right corner and ground pound to collect the Rumble on the Seaside floor moon. From there, you will leave the pipe and head to the right into the small cave, where you can perform a few wall kicks into a long jump Cappy bounce to get the Ride the Jetstream moon. From here, if you did not get the cliff moon, you can head further to the right into this river, where you can swim down into the cave with the 4 chests. Hit them in this order: top, left, right, down, and the moon will spawn. After this, you can swim out and capture the Cheep Cheep. If you did get the cliffside moon, leave the Jetstream room and capture the Cheep Cheep straight ahead. Now you will make your way to the underwater path under the giant champagne flute, and once inside to the right, you'll collect the Glass Palace treasure chest moon. While in the Cheep Cheep, you can press both B and Y at the same time to boost forward, which I recommend doing so incrementally. Once you have that, make your way through the rest of the path and, once out, head down and to the right into the hidden passageway. Swim all the way through, collecting the shortcut moon on the way, and once out, swim up and to the left to collect the Under a Dangerous Ceiling moon by spinning on the glowing sand mound. Now quickly make your way to the right to collect the Merci Dory moon, which depending on your timing should be close by. Now you will swim to the 3 mounds close to the edge of the map and spin over all 3 of them to spawn the Bublane Northern Reaches moon. Each one only requires 1 spin, so keep moving as to not take damage from the seaweed. From here, the next 2 moons are going to be the same, but there are 2 different ways to get them. For beginners, I recommend swimming down the cliff and slightly to the right, where you will see a small square opening. If you go inside and down to the right, you can grab the Gap in the Ocean Trench moon, then swim back out and head towards the Sphinx. The answer is the 4th option, so make sure not to mash A too quickly or you'll have to talk to him again if you're wrong. The door will open and you can collect the Treasure Moon, which is the last moon you will need in this kingdom. If you are more experienced, you can perform an out-of-bounds trick to get these 2 moons a lot faster. This trick is actually one of the easier clips to learn, so as your runs get more precise, I recommend practicing it. I will link an in-depth tutorial from Fur in the description, but essentially you want to swim right at this little corner in the sand and then boost so that the Cheep Cheep is as far in as possible. Then uncapture with Mario and swim a few strokes away so that you're out of the pushback area. Recapture the fish and immediately swim down and boost out of bounds. From here, keep swimming down, and by spinning right next to the moon, collect the Gap in the Ocean Trench moon without clipping back in bounds. Then, swim further down into the load zone behind the Sphinx and collect the last moon there. Once you have done that, you are all set and can leave the Seaside Kingdom. Next up is Luncheon Kingdom, which is another one with many options depending on your experience with the game. I'm going to spell out a very beginner-friendly path that I have used, but once you get more comfortable, the first moon can be switched out with one towards the end. To start, grab the pole of the Odyssey and jump over to the platform to get the Timer Challenge moon. From there you will head around the corner to the other side to get the Piled on the Salt moon. More experienced runners can get up here with a precise jump instead of going all the way around, but for newcomers I don't recommend it. Next, head straight across and collect the Lurking in the Pillar Shadow moon. Do a wall jump back up and head into the second Spewer fight. The strategy for this fight is exactly the same as the one back in Wooded, so if you need help, go back and watch my description there. But take him down and collect the Story Moon, unlocking the rest of the kingdom. Once you skip the cutscene, jump down into the sub-area and head around the corner to grab the corner of the Magma Swamp moon. Leave the sub-area and head back up across the bridge. Use the fork to get up quicker and ground pound into a Cappy Dive to get up the purple rock. Long jump and bounce to the left pillar. Then ground pound jump Cappy bounce up to the green-blue rock, where you can get the hidden ground pound moon overlooking a bunch of ingredients. Jump across, avoiding the can stack, and use the fork on the side of the building to get on top. Jump over to the other building and then throw Cappy to the left, shaking him to home into the top left box to break it and free the moon. Now you're going to jump down to the right and grab the golden turnip in the middle to throw into the soup pot. Try to line yourself up with where the moon will spawn to save a little time. Next, head up to the far left pillar and ground pound to grab the hidden moon there. Long jump Cappy bounce to the checkpoint island. Then long jump Cappy bounce to the next island and get the ground pound moon that is there. From here, capture the Podoboo and head over to the Forks room. You can make your way up faster by using Cappy's homing abilities to grab the forks a little quicker. Make sure to grab both the moon to the right as well as the moon on top. Then head back out. Capture one of the Podoboos here and jump up the ledge to the side. Go to the right and jump up that ledge, using the momentum of you swimming to get to the top. Jump up to the small middle platform against the wall. Then ground pound jump into a Cappy bounce along the wall, and wall kick dive to the top to grab the moon atop the jutting crag. Jump down and capture one of the Hammer Bros to break the cheese and hit the switch to unlock the next story moon. From here, capture the Podoboo to the right to light the lantern to grab the moon from that. Make your way up to the checkpoint on the hill, and if you skip the timer challenge moon, you can grab the ground pound moon behind the hill. Then capture the meat to get the last grand moon of the kingdom, and it's time for the ruined fight. This fight is pretty straightforward, although I recommend damage boosting when its head is down to remove the spikes early. Ground pound the hearts early to have them ready to quickly refill your health. It is now time to head to the second to last kingdom of the run, and not surprisingly one of the most difficult, Bowser's Kingdom. Most of this kingdom is very linear. From the start, roll your way to the first zip line. Once in the next area, capture a Pokio and head over to the back wall to grab the moon behind the big wall, and head back up to the next area. Once in the next courtyard, destroy the stair-faced ogre to spawn the next story moon. The easiest way to do this is to trigger his ground pound, then backflip from the right on top of him to quickly ground pound him open. Head across to the next area and collect the moon shards. The easiest way to do this is to get the one under the cannon first, then the one over to the right, jump across to the rooftop and roll across, then use Cappy to get the one to the right side of the roof, then jump over to the left and grab the one down there. Finally, capture the Pokio and break open the block, hiding the last moon shard to spawn the story moon. From here, head through the gate and jump up the wall to the right to grab the last optional moon, from the side above the castle gate. You only need 2 non-story moons to leave here, so from here on out you will be just completing the kingdom normally. Head past the shop island, and here it's time for the mini-boss gauntlet. I like to fight Harriet first, but really you can do it whichever order you feel more comfortable with. For Harriet, the best strategy is to wait for her to throw her bombs, then step back and use Cappy to fling the bomb back at her. Long jump onto her head, and when she drops the first bomb, hit it with Cappy to send it right back into her. Repeat until she goes down. For Topper, the start is the same as it was in Cap Kingdom. Make sure to land on the correct hat to stop his spin cycle. Then when he respawns, wait for him to do his spin attack and jump onto him while he's spinning. If you have trouble with the timing of that, you can always knock the hats off him and hit him normally. Repeat until he goes down as well. Once you collect the story moon, make your way up past the cannons to the outer wall and use the Pokio to quickly scale your way up. If you shake your controller, you can move very quickly up the wall, and with a little practice, the wall won't give you any issues. After this, however, it'll be time for the hardest boss in the entire run, the mech fight. My best advice here is to capture the first Pokio to get on top, then do your best to stay on top the entire fight. If you do fall off, don't panic. Just be safe and use the intended strats to do damage and try to get back on top each time. This fight takes a lot of practice for new runners, so be patient with yourself and work on getting better each time. Once you take him down, it's time to go to the last kingdom to finish up this run. In Moon Kingdom, there is one main trick that is an absolute necessity for any run, and that is Moon Cave Skip. The Moon Cave takes a very long time, so even if you mess up the Moon Skip repeatedly, it is far faster to keep trying until you get it. Here's my best advice for pulling off a consistent Moon Skip. Start out on top of the Sphinx's head and face the wall. Throw Cappy to make sure he is lined up straight at the wall, and once he is, ground pound jump on the Sphinx's head. Once Mario is at the very top of his jump, throw Cappy and hold forward to jump off him. Once you do, hold left and aim for the crack in the wall to slide off of it. If you need help aiming your first jump, use this little box here and aim for the bottom left corner to locate the crack. Wall kick when you are at the lower part of the crack, and then head to the left to wall jump off the top part of it. You will want to aim for the part that sticks out in order to pull this off. You will know right away if you did this successfully, because if you don't, Mario will not slide on the wall and you will fall back down. This can take a few tries, so be patient and keep at it until you get it. Once you made it up, roll across the red carpet to the church and head in to take on the last Bowser fight. The main strategy starts out the same as the first fight, but be aware he spits fire. Once he does, head back to the platform across from him and stay there to jump over the fire. If you get too close, he will extend how much fire he spits, so hang back until he's done and repeat the hat strats until he goes down. From here, all that is left is the Bowser section, which is very straightforward. Play it as safe as possible and head to the last room. Once there, fire 5 fireballs to the front right pillar to take it down first, then go clockwise to the left pillar. Take them all down, head to the middle, and the time stops once you zip away on the electricity. Thank you guys so much for checking out my video. If you enjoyed, feel free to like it, leave a comment telling me how it helped you, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Until next time, my friends, stay safe out there, be nice to each other, and I'll catch you on the next one. Everybody have a great day, and take care.
Up on the moon.